Srimati Radharani Haribo!
Hari Om, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki
Narasimha
We don't need that. So slowly, slowly, right? Thank you for visiting. You're staying or just visiting?
No, I come for a conference.
Oh, first time.
Yeah, first time to Atlanta.
Let's give them a nice one. Anyone else? You all together?
No.
Any other new first-time visitors?
Yeah.
Where you're from?
I'm from January.
Oh, okay. You live in Atlanta.
Yeah, I recently moved here like a few months back.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you. You also?
Second time.
Second time. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Oh, that's nice on the little beach. Very nice. You can do for San Diego this time. Actually, this was the first temple, Hindu temple in Georgia. So all those members that were here, they opened those other temples afterwards. So anyway, that's Prabhupada's mercy, huh? Spread this Dharma all over, even in China, but they don't always have temples. But many devotees there. So today we have this great Goparaj, who is a disciple of Jataka Maharaj. You've been member of this temple since what year? 1970 something?
I came in 84.
1984. So, I came a little 10 more years, 1974. I got one verse, I don't know how I got verse before him, but I was more fallen, so I need more mercy. So he didn't need as much mercy. It was HTM1. HTM1. Yeah, it was because it's connected over here. It was on for a little bit. Haribo. I got another connector.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari So today we are going to hear something about the appearance of Srimati Radharani. And we will be looking at the Brahma Samhita, we'll be looking at Srimad Bhagavatam primarily. We're going to start there. It's a mystery about Srimati Radharani. Who here knows the mystery of Srimati Radharani? Who here knows anything about Srimati Radharani? Some of you must know something. We've all heard a little bit here and there. But to understand in depth who is Srimati Radharani, we have to refer to the Shastra. And you might find this interesting. I'm sure many of you, most of you should know this already. The only place in the entire 18,000 shlokas where Shukadeva Goswami dared to mention Srimati Radharani. And even here it's indirect. It's in the 10th canto. Her name, Radha, is not found directly throughout the Bhagavatam. Even though when you study the purports of Srila Prabhupada, you begin to see a lot about Radha. But on the so-called technical side, where is this information? So we're going to start with Srimad Bhagavatam, the 10th canto, where Shukadeva Goswami speaks this verse to the king, to King Parichi. Anayaradito nunam Bhagavan Harir Ishvara Yando Vihaya Govinda Ritoyam Anayadraha Anayaradito nunam Bhagavan Harir Ishvara Yando Vihaya Govinda Ritoyam Anayadraha Anayaradito nunam Bhagavan Harir Ishvara Yando Vihaya Govinda Ritoyam Anayadraha. Someone else like to chant? Don't feel shy. Chant, please. Anywhere else would like? Anybody here actually can chant from the Devanagari? Anyone familiar with Devanagari? In the Western world, we certainly were not. So, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have this transliteration into English equivalents. So today we're actually going to look at even the synonyms. Usually in class situation, morning Bhagavatam class, these shlokas were recited along with the synonyms just to become really familiar with this. So please repeat. Anaya, Anaya. By her. Aradita, perfectly worshipped. Dunam, certainly. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Hari, Lord Krishna. Ishvara, the supreme controller. Yat, inasmuch as, Na, us, Vihaya, rejecting, Govinda, Lord Govinda, Rita, pleased, Yam, whom, Anayat, led, Radha, Raha, to a secluded place. So here's the translation by Srila Prabhupada. Certainly, this particular gopi has perfectly worshipped the all-powerful personality of Godhead, Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. So here is our first entry into this mystery or understanding the deeper essence of Srimati Radharani. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that the word Aradhita refers to Srimati Radharani. He comments, quote, "The sage Shukadeva Goswami has tried with all endeavor to keep her name hidden, but now it automatically shines forth from the moon of his mouth. That he has spoken her name is indeed her mercy, and thus the word Aradhita is like the rumbling of a kettle drum sounded to announce her great good fortune." Very poetic to the Vishwanath Chakravarti. So, Sukadeva Goswami, who was bent on giving all his knowledge to King Parikshit about what one should do at the time of death, he refrained from getting into deeper, sometimes esoteric explanations. And because of that, and because of his own situation, it's known that he did not want to veer from the course. So just by uttering the name Radha for him, he could have become stunned and just stopped speaking. There's no time for that. He had to speak. So let's learn some more about Srimati Radharani. Although the gopis spoke as if jealous of Srimati Radharani, they were actually ecstatic to see that she had captured Sri Krishna. So this is a description of what's taking place during the famous Rasa Lila activities. That all the gopis are dancing with Krishna, all of them thinking that Krishna is only with them, actually. And they're having an amazing time, not to be confused with material time, please. Their dancing was not like our dancing. Anyway, this is the situation. They're very ecstatic. And then all of a sudden, it seems like Krishna disappeared from everybody's view, along with someone. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes the following detailed description of Srimati Radharani's footprints, as given by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Sri Ujjvala Nilamani. Quote, "At the base of the large toe of her left foot is the mark of a barley corn. Below that mark is a disc. Below the disc is an umbrella, and below the umbrella is a bracelet. A vertical line extends from the middle of her foot to the juncture of her large and second toe. At the base of the middle toe is a lotus. Below that is a flag with a banner, and below the flag is a creeper together with a flower. At the base of her small toe is an elephant goad, and upon her heel is a half moon. Thus there are 11 marks on her left foot." Very detailed information. So we know that it's Radha because no one else has even a footprint like Srimati Radharani. This is a description of her left foot. At the base of the large toe of her right foot is a conch shell, and below that a spear. At the base of the small toe of her right foot is a sacrificial altar. Below that an earring, and below the earring a club. Along the base of the second, third, fourth, and small toe is the mark of a mountain, below which is a chariot, and on the heel is a fish. That's the right foot. So this is how they could ascertain it actually was Srimati Radharani accompanying Sri Krishna. Where did they go? Thus, altogether, there are 19 distinguishing marks on the soles of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. I'm just going to read this translation because we're going to go to the Chaitanya Charitamrita. But this is the next verse, text 29. The gopis are talking. O girls, the dust of Govinda's lotus feet is so sacred that even Brahma, Shiva, and the goddess Rama take the dust upon their heads to dispel sinful reactions. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, who quotes from Shastra, each day in the late afternoon, as Krishna returns from the cow pastures with his cowherd boyfriends, great demigods like Brahma and Shiva would come down from the heaven and take the dust of his feet. The personalities like the goddess Rama, the wife of Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma are not at all sinful, but in the ecstasy of pure Krishna consciousness, they feel themselves fallen and impure. Thus, desiring to purify themselves, they blissfully take the dust of the Lord's lotus feet on their heads. So, even the demigods, the higher beings, are hankering for this mercy from the supreme couple, Radha and Krishna. So, we're going to look at the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is from the 4th chapter, which is the confidential reasons why Lord Chaitanya appeared. And here we get an even deeper glimpse into who is Srimati Radharani. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Krishna Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Krishna Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Krishna Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vraja Vadu Ganera E Baba Nira Vani Karamadye Sri Radhaya Bhavera Avani. Translation. This mood is abounded in the damsels of Braja, but among them it finds its perfection in Srimati Radha, in Sri Radha. So let's find out what this mood is all about. What is Krishnadas Kaviraj indicating here? Prado Nirmala Bhava Prema Sarvotam Krishnera Madhurya Rasa Aswakaram. Her pure, mature love surpasses that of all others. Her love is the cause of Lord Krishna's tasting the sweetness of the conjugal relationship. Text 50. Ateva se bhava angikara kari sadi lena nija mancha goranga srihari. Therefore, Lord Gauranga, who is Sri Hari himself, accepted the sentiments of Radha and thus fulfilled his own desire. So here's one of the big secrets of the Kali Yuga, of any Yuga. How Krishna himself assumes the sentiments of Srimati Radharani. This is very detailed information. It's something that does not happen in the material world. We can't, even regardless of how close we are to any one person, we can't assume their particular feelings, their sentiments. We might, quote, love someone very much, love them to death, so to speak. I'll give my life. But still, because we're incorporated in a material body, We can't do those things that happen on the transcendental plane. Purport. Of the four kinds of reciprocation of loving service, dasya, sakya, vatsalya, and madhurya. Madhurya is considered the fullest, but the conjugal relationship is further divided into two varieties, namely swakiya and parakiya. Swakiya is a relationship with Krishna as a formerly married husband. Just a footnote on this. Do not equate this with a formerly married couple in this world. It is not the same thing. Don't confuse it, or you'll have trouble. And the parakiya is the relationship with Krishna as a paramour. I'm sure some of these young devotees don't really understand what is a paramour. Any young devotee understand what is a paramour? I'll try to be very explicit with this. Let's say you have a very dear friend, and you're very close. And this dear friend of yours, when you grow up, you get married. But then something happens. This dear friend decides she's going with some other person. This would break your heart, right? Right now, you don't know. But this is basically getting to what is a paramour. So in a very simple explanation, a paramour is when a married person takes on liking some other person. In the spiritual world, there is no other person. So all the gopis, including the topmost gopi, Srimati Radharani, have only this sentiment. What do you mean by sentiment? Sentiment means a feeling. It means a way, a mood that you're in. So some of the gopis have the sentiment that somewhere in their obliterated past, they did have a husband. But they don't care about that, whether they did or didn't. All they know is that they love Krishna, bas, period. End of the story. Nothing more. No one else can get in there. You can't get between the gopis and Krishna. So that's an understanding of this relationship. So this is a breakdown of those two ways that you can love Krishna. One is swakiya, means like when husband and wife are married. That's a genuine relationship. And the other is parakiya, when there's not really another husband, but there's a mood that you're breaking a rule. That is a basic breakdown. Expert analysis have decided that the transcendental ecstasy of the parakiya mellow is better because it is more enthusiastic. This phase of conjugal love is found in those who have surrendered to the Lord in intense love, knowing well that such illicit love with a paramour is not morally approved in society. The risks involved in such love of Godhead make this emotion superior to the relationship in which such risk is not involved. The validity of such risk, however, is possible only in the transcendental realm. I'm going to repeat. The validity of such risk, however, is possible only in the transcendental realm. Swakiya and parakiya, conjugal love of Godhead, have no existence in the material world. And parakiya is not exhibited anywhere in Vaikuntha, but only in the portion of Golok Vrindavan known as Braja. So here we see a much closer look at some detailed information. You won't find this in other shastras, other scriptures, and you will find no other bona fide guru explaining this. Srila Prabhupada took this opportunity to give this to us in the West, and he did it in such a unique way that you can't be confused. You can't misinterpret. You can't misunderstand this. Because in the West in particular, there's this thing when you hear something, you just take it and go do what you like. I heard that, this is a broad example. I heard that Lord Jesus Christ was a preacher. I'll become a preacher. I'll go teach Christ consciousness. Just from hearing. Focus, attitude. You can't just do something because you think you can do it. You can't just hear how to become a guitar player. And I give you a guitar, and you start playing a guitar. Wanga, 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 laka, laka, wanga. And that's nothing. You have to learn how to play a guitar. So if you want to learn about Krishna, the first thing we have to do is hear about Krishna. And you have to hear about his topmost consort, Srimati Radharani, so that there's no confusion. Otherwise, there's a tendency to think, oh, I know that, I'll go do it. That is improper. We have to follow the acharyas. Srila Prabhupada continues. Some devotees state that Krishna is eternally the enjoyer in Golok Vrindavan, but only sometimes comes to the platform of Braja to enjoy Parikiya Ras. The 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, however, have explained that Krishna's pastimes in Braja are eternal, like his other activities in Golok Vrindavan. Braja is a confidential part of Golok Vrindavan. Krishna exhibits his Braja pastimes on the surface of this world, and similar pastimes are eternally exhibited in Braja, in Golok Vrindavan, where Parikiya Ras is ever existent. This is one of the confidential reasons Lord Chaitanya has come to experience this. So it's not something that Krishna only exhibited when he came 5,000 years ago and manifested in Vrindavan. He came with all his associates, weapons, confidence. He came to Golok Vrindavan. There was nothing missing. So Gokula, which is in Vrindavan, is the same as Goloka, which is the eternal realm. This is explained in great detail by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta in the Brahma Samhita. What is the difference between Gokula, where Lord Krishna manifested 5,000 years ago, this pastimes with the gopis and the gopas and the cowherd people of Braja. It's the same thing in Goloka as Gokula. The essential difference is very minute and very esoteric. But when he summarizes his purport, he basically says there's no difference. So we can walk away with that. There is no difference between Golok and Gokula. In the 3rd chapter of this epic, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has explicitly accepted the fact that Krishna appears in this material world at the end of the Goparaj age of the 28th Chatur Yuga of Vaivaswata Manu, and brings with him his Brajadam, which is the eternal abode of his highest pastimes. As the Lord appears by his own internal potency, so he also brings all his paraphernalia by the same internal potency, without extraneous help. It is further stated here in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that the Parikiya sentiment exists only in that transcendental realm and nowhere else. The highest form of ecstasy can exist only in the most confidential part of the transcendental world. But by the causeless mercy of the Lord, we can have a peek into the invisible, into that invisible Braja. So this is by Lord Chaitanya's causeless mercy. He dispatched the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. He was the one behind Krishnadas Kaviraj compiling his main biography. Even though Kaviraj didn't feel worthy, he's very elderly. We can take so many lessons from him. He was like well over 80. 88 years old, and his eyesight was failing him. He was practically blind. So someone tells you to go write a book, write a biography, almost like an autobiography. It's not quite auto, but so much potency there. To go write this biography, you're thinking, well, how can I do that? But we see when Krishna directly empowers someone, you can do anything. So this is the nectar coming from Krishnadas Kaviraj. And another important point, Srila Prabhupada said these purports are not his. They were given to him by Krishna. If you read Prabhupada's books, you begin to associate with Prabhupada, and when you read these purports, you hear Srila Prabhupada talking to you personally. You hear him, and you hear and understand the connection between the purport and the shloka, the verse. Because just reading the verse, if you just read all 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam with no guru's translation and understanding, you're going to miss a lot. You're going to miss quite a bit. If you just read the Bhagavad Gita, just chant those slokas, that and alone can liberate you. Yeah, it can liberate you. But you will not have a full understanding of Bhagavad Gita. You'll be able to quote all the slokas maybe, and tell someone a shloka. But then to get into the essence of it requires Krishna's mercy. So that's why these purports in Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita and all the other books, especially Srila Prabhupada took the liberty, and to our great benefit, he decided to translate the 10th canto strictly in English. It became known as the Krishna book. So basically it's like, if you read, how many people have, you don't have to answer, but how many people have read this Krishna book? Wow. Beautiful souls. How many people want to read it? Read it. Just get a copy and read it. But the Krishna book is the 10th canto. The Krishna book is the 10th canto, and for the Western world, it's in straight English. Of course, he gives verses, he gives references, but it's like reading an amazing account. It's not so much like a straight historical, this happened day one, this happened, but an account of the pastimes of Krishna when he was in Braja on this planet Earth. As we were learning in class Friday, again in Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada explains when he was describing how Krishna, actually Vishnu, came to the womb of Uttara, where the baby Parikshit was attacked by Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama sent this Brahmastra weapon. And the Brahmastra weapon is very, very potent. It's like having a billion-ton, megaton bomb that you can blow up. So on this planet, all we know is bombs like destroyed Hiroshima in Japan, these material-type bombs that explode. So if you throw a bomb a certain way, it'll blow up the house, everything. But this Brahmastra literally could take out a planet if you aim it at a planet. It's not an ordinary weapon. Ashwatthama got it illegally. Another problem. He was simply listening in on how to dispatch this. Anyway, he did not know how to retract this weapon. In the material world, again, by analogy, by comparison, if you send a guided missile to another place, basically there's no way you can call it back. Oh, I made a mistake. Once you launch the bomb, it's going there to blow up whatever is there. But the Brahmastra is on a much more subtle plane. And so, a long story short, Lord Vishnu appeared in the womb of Uttara. And the baby Parikshit saw him in the womb. Vishnu, Prabhupada describes he was the size of a thumb practically. And he was there. And he protected Because Parikshit was the last heir of this great dynasty. If they killed him, there would be no one to rule with that quality of ruling. So, naturally, Vishnu protected. He came and stopped the Brahmastra. Very easy. But what I'm getting to is in this purport, Srila Prabhupada was explaining the king, Lord Vishnu didn't have to come. He wasn't over there, confirmed. And then he has to come over here. He was already there with Uttara and Parikshit. He simply just manifested himself visibly for a few seconds. And the baby Parikshit was amazed. Who is this beautiful? There's a description of Lord Vishnu. I can't repeat that verbatim, but he was just very beautiful, effulgent. And the baby Parikshit wanted to know, who is that? But he just stopped the Brahmastra, and again, he was invisible. Even Parikshit couldn't see him. So that is what we're getting at in this point, that Krishna is always here with us. It's not like at home, Krishna is not there with me. Krishna is there at your home. Can any brick exist somewhere outside of Krishna's territory? Can wood, can cement, can trees, can anything exist outside of Krishna's place, Krishna's being? No. Nothing can exist outside of where Krishna is. So, Krishna is everywhere. But, the key point, he reserves the right to be directly visible to us by his own sweet will. Just like if somebody comes to your door and rings the bell, it might be too early in the morning. You just don't answer the bell. It's your house. You don't have to come. Just because that bell rings, you don't have to answer the door. You reserve the right. It's your house. You're doing some other thing. Of course, everybody answers the door. Right? So Krishna is already there. That's the main point. And if Krishna is already there, the situation is taken care of. So naturally, Mother Uttara was saved from this devastation, and baby Parikshit was saved. And that's why we're hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, because Shukadev spoke this entire reference to him. To continue with this purport, the transcendental mellow, relished by the gopis in Braja, is super excellently featured in Srimati Radharani. Mature assimilation of the transcendental humor of conjugal love is represented by Srimati Radharani, whose feelings are incomprehensible even to the Lord himself. So what, an idiot like me, how am I going to say I know something about Srimati Radharani, her mood, what she's actually experiencing? If we hear or read something about, that's as far as we can go. We can't imitate those feelings. We can't enter into that realm. Srila Prabhupada says mature assimilation. Mature assimilation means after a while, when you gain insight, you become mature, more and more assimilate, to take in. When you take in more, you can understand more. Just like in school, you don't start off in the first grade learning trigonometry. You have to learn addition, subtraction, multiplication. They don't start you out, okay, today I want you to solve this algebra problem, and then I have something in trigonometry, and then we're going to give you a biology test. They don't do that in the first grade, because you haven't assimilated what's necessary to deal with those broader concepts. The intensity of her loving service is the highest form of ecstasy. No one can surpass Srimati Radharani in relishing the qualities of the Lord through this supreme transcendental mellow. That's Wakiya. Parakiya Ras. Therefore, the Lord himself agreed to assume the position of Radharani in the form of Lord Sri Gauranga. He then relished the highest position of Parikya Ras as exhibited in the transcendental abode of Raja. So this is also a confidential reason of why Lord Chaitanya came, to get into this mood. He himself is so attracted to it, he meaning Krishna, that he wanted to directly experience this. You might say, well, Krishna was there at the Rasa dance. He was, yeah, he was. But he wanted to enter into that mood from the position of someone like Srimati Radharani. And she's the only one like herself. There's no one else quite on that level. So only he could do this. He assumed the mood and sentiment of Srimati Radharani. Again, we want to bring up another aspect of this. This is Brahma Samhita. This shloka also, we find some information about Srimati Radharani to some degree. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavita Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Shalabi Goloka Eva Nisasatya Vivatma Buddho Govinda Hari Purusham Tamam Vayami. So going to the translation. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities. In the company of her confidants, Sakis, embodiments of the extension of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa. So, Lord Brahma, who's well versed in what we're discussing, gives us a deeper glimpse because of what he was allowed to witness and see. Radha and Krishna together. So, he's saying Radha is the same actually as Sri Krishna. She is the embodiment of his ecstatic feelings. So we have Krishna, we have Radha. Krishna, Radha is the embodiment of Krishna's ecstatic feeling. And that feeling is something very, as we would say in this world, very tangible. In other words, you can have it. Because it's not like something that's never tangible. If I say, give me some feathers from the horse. Can anyone pick feathers from a horse? No. Do horses have feathers? You can't. It's a mental concept because human beings have this ability to rationally think of things and put things together. You can mentally visualize, a horse with feathers flying around nicely in the sky. But you can't actually get a horse with, there's no such thing. So, Lord Brahma can give us this information because he tangibly got it. We're not going to read this entire purport because then we learn what are those 64 artistic qualities, abilities that Srimati Radharani has. They're quite amazing. Although the Lord Absolute and his potency are one and the self-same existence, still they exist eternally as separate entities, as Radha and Krishna. That's one of the main points. They exist separately, eternally, as Radha and Krishna. In both the ecstatic energy and the transcendental Lord Krishna, there exists Sringara Rasa, amorous love, whose quality is inconceivable. The Vibhava extension of that rasa, mellow quality, is twofold. That is to say, alambana, which is a prop, and udipana, a stimulation. You have a prop, meaning you have some physical thing, and then you have something to interact with that prop and stimulation. Of these, alambana is twofold. That is to say, ashraya, supported, and Vishaya, supporter. Ashraya signifies Radhika herself, and the extensions of her own form, and Vishaya means Krishna himself. So Radha has millions and millions of assistants, gopis, who assist her in pleasing Krishna. That's what we can remember. These technical words, Ashraya and Udipana and Alambana, might not be so familiar with, especially in the West. But we can get a glimpse, as Srila Prabhupada says, a peep into what they actually mean. And the main point we're studying today is who is Srimati Radharani. So this is some additional information about her. That's why we're chanting this shloka from Lord Brahma. The gopis are the facsimile ashraya of that rasa. With them, Krishna indulges in eternal pastimes in Goloka. Nija rupataya means with the attributes manifested from the ecstatic energy. With the attributes manifested from the ecstatic energy. The 64 activities in fine arts and crafts are the following. So, the main point you want to remember is that Srimati Radharani imbibes all of these. I'm strongly recommending, for the sake of time, we can't begin to just, and basically it's just understanding what they are by name, what to speak of, actually understanding how she does all of these things. Just to read the first 3 or 4. Gita is the art of singing. Srimati Radharani can sing on a level that we can't understand. And she pleases Krishna with this singing. When we hear singing in this world, outside of the temple of course, we hear singing, you can turn on your radio, you hear so much singing. Everybody wants to be the best singer. You know, you go to the competition shows, whatever that is. Anyway, I want to be known as the best singer, the best rock singer. This is all material. Srimati Radharani is actually the best singer. And she can sing in such a way that Krishna will stop whatever he's doing just to hear a few notes. Vadya, the art of playing on musical instruments. Like I know these young boys want to play guitar and piano and everything else. No, these are transcendental souls. They're not interested in that. But in the material world, every young kid wants to be a superstar in this and that. He wants to learn to make music because in this world, we've seen so-called music is pleasing. You listen to a song and then you want something new. It's not like you listen to the same song every day. You don't. If you pick your favorite artists, and here I have to give away my age, because if I said, I'm going to listen to the Beatles, and I'm going to listen to She Loves You, yeah, 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 every day. How long do you think I could keep that up? I'd be bored out of my mind. It was nice when it was fresh, 50 years ago, whatever. But you don't want to hit, but devotees, they come to, how many people here have heard the Maha Mantra? Everybody. How many people chant it? The words change? Maybe sometimes the melody line might change, but what are you chanting? The same thing every time. Has anybody gotten tired of it? No. Has anybody gotten bored? Well, if you have a problem, then I can help you with that. But you won't get tired and bored of chanting Hare Krishna when it's done properly. So, vibrating this Maha Mantra is the essence of getting what is being sung. I'm just going to do one more. Nritya, the art of dancing. Again, in this material world, it's an art form, but it's all material. Srimati Radharani and the gopis This is how they were dancing in the Rasa Leela. It can't be imitated. The dancing was so pleasing that Krishna danced with each gopi separately. That's all we know. We don't know how it's done. We can't go out and start, oh, this is how we do the Rasa Leela. I mean, you can't do the Rasa Leela dance like that. You'll be lucky to be admitted into the territory where this is performed. So we're going to have to switch now for the sake of time. But understand that Srimati Radharani is very unique. And so coming up this Thursday is the appearance of Srimati Radharani. A very important day. Srimati Radharani's appearance day. Friday.
Friday.
Okay, don't be afraid to correct me.
Friday.
I'm so excited that I said Thursday. But no, I'm not on that level. So we're going to celebrate the appearance of Srimati Radharani just as we've celebrated the appearance of Sri Krishna. But understanding Radharani takes some endeavor. Again, as we started out saying, if you just chant shlokas from Srimad Bhagavatam, you won't even really encounter her name unless you're shrewd and understand Devanagari Sanskrit, and then you can kind of pick it out. But there are some other places where you can learn something about Srimati Radharani. And I have just a couple examples here. Radha Radha Priya Vinosh Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata Sarva Gopishu Sai Vaika Vishnor Atyanta Balaba. Just as Srimati Radharani is. So two important factors there that are covered in the Krishna book, which you all are going to go and get today and read starting tonight, right? Everybody's going to read Krishna book every night? Well, at least as many nights as you can. Recommend it, seriously. Read the Krishna book. We say the Krishna book, but it's the full 10th canto in English. Most of you are proficient in English, so you can just read right along. Be absorbed. You can read to your children. I say for a fact, I hate to get personal, but my wife and I used to do this for our boys almost every night. The actual Krishna book. So they became more and more familiar with what we're talking about. Just read the Krishna book. You don't have to be a magician. You don't have to do anything else. Just that Krishna book will do it. And the other point also mentioned there is Radhakund. Radhakund is so special, this lake, this pond, that Krishna sees it on the same level as he does Srimati Radharani. So if you get a chance to visit India, and I know most of you will at some point, go to Radhakund in Vrindavan and get the blessing. At least just touch the pond with your hand. Again, more information on Srimati Radharani. The Brihad Gautamiya Tantra names Srimati Radharani as Krishna's foremost consort. Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Para Devata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Samohini Para. The transcendental goddess, Srimati Radharani, is the direct counterpart of Lord Sri Krishna. She is the central figure of all the goddesses of fortune. She possesses all attractiveness to attract the all-attractive personality of Godhead. She is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. So who can attract Krishna? Nobody. He is Krishna means the all-attractive. But yet, quote, someone can attract Krishna. And that is Srimati Radharani. She can attract the attractive of everyone else. In a supplement to the Rig Veda, you find this part of this shloka. Radhaya Maravo Deva Maravinaiva Radhika Vibrajanti Janeshu. Amongst all persons, it is Sri Radha in whose company Lord Madhava is especially glorious, as she is especially glorious in his. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti gives some extensive information on the importance of Srimati Radharani. I can only cover one of those shlokas, and I'm going to skip down to the translation just so we get the essence. Thus, gaining the grace of Srimati Radharani, the holy rivers and lakes of Sri Krishna Kund forcibly broke through its boundary walls and swiftly filled Radha Kund with their waves. This is a description of that pastime where Krishna wanted to get forgiveness for killing Aristasura. Is it Aristasura? He wanted to get forgiveness. The gopis didn't want to even have anything to do with him because he had killed the cow. It's Aristasura. And so Krishna took a bath in the lake and tried to purify himself. I can't describe the whole pastime, but Radharani still wasn't satisfied. He's too contaminated, you can't touch it. But Krishna was saying, I just purified. Now Radharani said, we will have our own lake. We will make a lake, and so we can be purified. We'll call all the holy rivers there. So Krishna obliged Srimati Radharani, and the gopis, with their own hands, they dug out a pond, and with prayers and the help of Krishna, they called all the holy rivers to please come. Shamuna, Saraswati, who can name those 8 rivers? So you can call those sacred rivers even to your little Achman cup at home and use this water for purification. Anyway, we're going to have to wrap up. So the gopis, along with Srimati Radharani, dug their own kund, which became famous as Radha Kund. And the potency of Radha Kund cannot be described in one class, or certainly by me. So we have to take to that if you ever get to Vrindavan. I'm skipping down. I'm going to go to the very end here. We should be chanting this prayer all the time by Srila Bhaktivinoda, but we don't sometimes remember. But just one line I want to pull out here. Samrita Pao, Radha Krishna Guna Gao. So this prayer is a prayer that we chant before honoring Prasadam, but it has much more meaning. O Lord, this material body is a lump of ignorance, and the senses are a network of paths to death. Somehow we've fallen into this ocean of material sense enjoyment, and of all the senses, the tongue is most voracious and uncontrollable. It's very difficult to conquer the tongue in this world, but you, dear Krishna, are very kind to us and have given us such nice prasadam, just to control the tongue. Now we take this prasadam in your full satisfaction and glorify their lordships, Sri Radha Krishna, in love, and call for the help of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. So this Samrita Pao, Radha Krishna Guna Gao, Premi Dako Chaitanya Nikaya. The essence of that Bhaktivinoda gives us. Why are we chanting this? Not that I'm so hungry, let me take something to eat. Maybe, but please try to focus on what is the actual meaning of this prayer. So we're going to have to stop now, and Swati Prabhu is going to come and tell you how you can dive deeper into the nectar of Srimati Radharani by participating in offering these wonderful baskets of flowers on this auspicious day. Thank you very much.
Goparaj prabhu ki.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Srimati Radharani ki. I'd like to thank Goparaj for wonderful speech on Srimati Radharani. Let's give a round of applause for Goparaj. Very nice to hear about Srimati Radharani by the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We know Radharani more than any other age. In this age of Kali Yuga, we get to know Radharani much more than any other age because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So on Radharani's appearance day, we'll hear more about the glories of Srimati Radharani. So right now we have a Sunday sponsor. We have to honor them. They can offer mini arati. So we have Girish Rao and family. Please come. Sanjeev, Advi, Priya, Agnihotra. Are you all here? They are not here. I request Ranaji to offer the arati. On behalf of them, they got too busy. They just came from Tennessee. Somebody has parked the car. What is the car?
It's a white Audi.
It's blocking the road, so please. There is a lot of parking up here. You can park here. I'd like to call on Girish Rao. Please come forward. So Girish Rao, he's from India. He's visiting here for a, I think, for job conference. And he came yesterday to the temple and he wanted to meet all the Vaishnavas, all the devotees for the Sunday. So we'd like to thank him. So we'd like to pray for this wonderful family, Girish Rao. Let us raise our hand one time and chant Hare Krishna loudly as loud you can. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Girish Rao is coming from India, all the way from India. He's just here for a couple of days. Then he'll go back to India. So, but in the meantime, you have to serve Vaishnavas. So, serve all the Vaishnavas by giving prasadam. That's wonderful seva. Vaishnava seva. Mahaprabhu said, Vaishnava seva, Name Ruchi and Jive Daya. These are the very important seva for the Grihasthas. Name Ruchi, Jive Daya and Vaishnava seva. Vaishnava and Vaishnavis. So we have second sponsor is Sanjeev, Advi and Priya. Their title is Agnihotra. They come from a very good family. They also came from Tennessee. Actually they came this noon time. They came noon time for the noon arati. And they wanted to do some seva. So I told them do some seva. The best seva you can do is serving Vaishnavas. It's okay, I will sponsor the Sunday feast. So they also sponsor Sunday feast, but they could not come here because they're busy. So they're actually moving to new homes, so they got busy. So they're asking all the prayers of the Vaishnavas and the Vaishnavis. Can we pray for this wonderful family? So let us raise our hand and chant one time Hare Krishna for this wonderful family. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all very much. So I'd just like to give you a few updates on our different festival which is coming. We have Friday, we have Radhashtami, the appearance of Srimati Radharani. Radhashtami ki Jai! Jai Srimati Radharani ki Jai! So Radhashtami falls on 22nd September. This is Friday. So I know it's a working day, but generally we are requesting people, devotees to fast until noon. And you can break, after noon you can break fast. And then from 6 p.m. we will have Abhishek. Because if you do during the daytime, then we will not get many devotees. So we're going to do it in the evening. So after the work, devotees can come and participate in the Abhishek, Kirtan and also class. There will be a beautiful class by Adi Gadadhar Prabhu on Srimati Radharani. So you can come and hear the class also. So around 5:30 we will have Kirtan. And then 6 p.m. we'll have Abhishek by the Pujaris, followed by Prabhupada disciples. And then everybody will get a chance to bathe the Lord, bathe Srimati Radharani and Krishna together. And then after the bathing ceremony is over, it's going to go on until 7 p.m. And then from 7 to 7:30 there will be a class by Adivada Prabhu. And then 7:30 there will be Maharati. And then 8 p.m. or 8 p.m. around 8:30 we'll have Mahaprasad for everyone. And we are also requesting devotees to cook for Srimati Radharani. We know some years we have almost 1,000 preparation was cooked by the devotees of our congregation. So we want you to cook as many items you can for Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani has got 25 special qualities which she pleases Krishna. So out of that one quality, very special quality, that she is very expert in cooking. And Krishna loves her. So if you can bring something nice, wonderful, cooked with love and devotion, and you bring and you offer to Srimati Radharani, and if you can please Srimati Radharani, then you can please Krishna very easily. So request devotees to cook some wonderful preparation for Srimati Radharani, Appearance Day. And if you cannot cook, you can get some fruits, or you can get also dry fruits, you can bring that also. Only our request is that please do not cook these items that you are going to offer to Srimati Radharani, do not cook them in the pots which you have used for onion garlic like that. And we don't allow onion garlic, so please do not use that also. And the pots should be clean, and when you are cooking for Srimati Radharani, at least you should have your clean clothes and be bathed, that's better. So, because then we have a very high standard in the temple, but I know in the home is something, sometimes everything is not possible, but try as much as you can. And you can bring this preparation by what time? By 6:30, you should bring the offering to the temple. If you can bring before 6:30, it's better, but at least you can bring by 6:30 p.m. And this will be offered to Srimati Radharani. I know some years we had like 1,500 preparation just on Srimati Radharani's Appearance Day. The bhoga came up to even up to the floor here. There were so many preparations. So I know there are devotees who cook for 200 preparation, 100 preparation for Srimati Radharani. So you take little initiative, extra seva for Srimati Radharani, and do some nice cooking for Srimati Radharani. And if you cannot, you can bring some fruits also. And
So you don't forget.
so our aim, actually the devotees of Rupanuga, means devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their aim is to become residents of Goloka Vrindavan, the topmost planet in the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. So in Goloka Vrindavan, everybody is offering flowers and incense and so many nice items, auspicious items to Lord Krishna all the time. So Srimati Radharani in Goloka Vrindavan, she is always doing some seva to Krishna with her Sakhis and Manjaris, especially like Lalita Sakhi, Vishakha, and many other Sakhis like Tungavidya, Sudevi, many Sakhis that Srimati Radharani has, and she's always serving Krishna through those gopis. And then there's Manjaris also. They're always going and plucking flowers from different forests for Krishna, for Krishna's pleasure. So on the special day of Srimati Radharani's Appearance Day, our head Pujari Govardhan Mataji has brought some nice baskets. And these baskets will be full of flowers. We'll give it to you. And when the Abhishek takes place, after the Abhishek, there will be Pushpa Abhishek. I don't know if you have watched the Mayapur YouTube, how on Janmashtami and Radhashtami they offer so much flower to Radharani's birthday and also Krishna's birthday. So we'll all have a chance to offer flowers to Radharani on that day. So we'll give you flower basket. This basket we'll give it to you with full of flowers, and you can offer that to Srimati Radharani on her birthday, especially during the flower Abhishek. So you'll get a chance. So we have like 50 people. We'll take only 50 families, and you can book. You can call us, or you can send a text to me, and we'll book you. I know some people already started booking, So you can book this, so this is available. Only 50 families we can take. Thank you.
How do we text you?
This is $51. $51 donation.
How do we text you?
You can text me by the end of temple phone. We have a temple phone out in the WhatsApp group. Yeah. So this is the special for the Radhashtami called Flower Abhishek. And then we have few more announcement. On 25th September is Parshva Ekadashi. That means after Radhashtami there is Ekadashi. So encourage devotees to follow Ekadashi. Ekadashi generally requires devotees to fast from grains and beans. And then there are Ekadashi foodstuffs are there that you can eat. And you can cook those things and you can eat. You can find out from the devotees more about how you can follow Ekadashi. On Ekadashi we have also Kirtan in the temple. This will take place in the evening. So you can come and join us. We'll have Kirtan for 4 hours. Different devotees will come and do Kirtan, you can join us. And Prasadam will be served here also in the temple. Then on the 26th September is Lord Vamanadev appearance day and Jiva Goswami's appearance day. Vamanadev, on the 10th incarnation of Krishna, he falls on the 5th incarnation of Krishna. He came in Satyuga. Vamanadev, little dwarf boy, and he took the whole kingdom away from Bali Maharaj. This is very beautiful pastimes. So generally in the noon time we'll have a little Pushpanjali and Kirtan. So if you have time, please come. And then on 27th September is Bhakti Vinod Thakur appearance day. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he is one of the acharyas in our disciplic succession. In the altar you see their photos. So the third photo is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is a very learned and educated personality and is a great devotee of the Lord. Not only that, he was a district magistrate during the time of British in India. He had the highest position in Jagannath Puri. And he was managing the whole Jagannath temple. And then he also wrote many nice, beautiful books about the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna. And he wrote thousands of songs referring to Lord Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's a very important and special personality in our Sampradaya. So we like to honor him on his birthday. So there will be Pushpanjali, there will be Arati, and there will be also Prasadam at 1 o'clock. So if you have time, please come. We'll start around 11:30 in the morning hours. So if you have time, please come. So these are the few announcements that we have. Any other announcement, Chitrabiji Prabhu? Yes, Rupa Mataji has something special to announce, so we can hear from her. Please come.
Hare Krishna, first of all. I see a lot of new friends over here, and you may know me or not. My name is Rupa Madhuri, but everybody knows me as a Rupa. Okay, so this is actually the small announcement, sweet and very, very interesting that we come up with it. My god sister actually told me, brought my attention to do this, which is her registry. And we also brought up all together how to put these things together. So this is actually we're going to do generation after generation. I'm not too good on speakers. Okay? So generation after generations, we're taking care of our Lord. So we have to come up with learn how to do things, correct? And I know everybody over here has so much talent. All of you, we have seen so many things, but we thought about you. But sometimes you guys cannot do it because there's a lot of stuff comes on your way and we cannot do it. So this is the way we actually put it together. This Panihatitam has a lot of good, talented people over here. So therefore, we gonna have a workshop, which is our group is called New Panihatitam Skill Sharing Group. So what are we going to do? One day you're going to be a teacher, one day you're going to be a student. all Vaishnavas, okay? There is a new guest, there is a existing, or whoever wants to learn whatever. Example, we make beautiful garlands. You have opportunity to come and learn. If you wanted to make kiwis, I think Mother Suvarna, she makes a kiwis, you can learn from her. So this is the way is we're going to learn from each other because we do have a lot of talents. And you all know that, right? So we are inspiring everybody. Please come forward and learn from each other. One day you're going to be a teacher, one day you're going to be a student, okay? And this is also going to be RSVP because it's, we don't want it to, we need to know how many people it's going to be. And there is a lot of guidelines. We'll explain, once you come in, and then we will explain everything. Today is, I want to announce, because it's the winter coming, so we are actually going to do the first things, which is we take care at home Tulsi Day, right? How many are over here trying to figure this out, how to keep Tulsi home in the winter? Be honest with you, I don't actually take care, I don't grow that Tulsi Marani because I don't want to take the offense, okay? So I struggle a lot. So that's the first thing, so we're going to do winter coming. So on October 15th, we're going to actually have a workshop. Flowers going to be coming, Iskcon Atlanta, and slowly we're going to do more, and I will see what's happening. But right now is actually one of our devotees is going to serve. Please stand. Radharani. It's a beautiful young devotee. Look at her. Thank you so much. So she volunteered is actually she going to be our teacher to take care of the Tulsi. Okay? So please come forward. 3 of us is over here. We have another Mataji. She's not right now because her parents are in town taking care of them. So, oh yeah, we have actually 5 people. The one is Ganga Mata. She comes, sometime occasionally, but we're not going to see her often, maybe on the spot. And Preeti, what's her name? Preeti Vilasini. So she's also is actually part of that. So if you guys have any other questions, whoever you see, just please go ahead and ask. So please come and learn this. It's very, very exciting. When you see some pictures in the social media, you'll be, oh, this is how I made it, this is how I did it. It'll make you very excited. Trust me. But please come and learn things, okay? We are passing to this generation, to other generations, okay? It's lovely things, okay? Thank you so much for you guys' time, and please join us and call us. We're going to tell you the details. Thank you. No, we did that. No, he did it actually. Is you're going to get the flyers in Iskcon Atlanta. Thank you so much.
So the whole idea is, at least I've been at this temple for like maybe 20 years, and I've seen so many talented devotees who have been serving Radha Madan Mohan, and these are the unsung heroes. There's so much talent here, and so we could learn from each other. So we want this talent to come out, and we want to empower them to teach others, so that others learn from them and increase their service towards Radha Madan Mohan. That's the whole idea. And this will help each other in the sense that it is going to build camaraderie within the temple. We're going to know more about each other. We're not just going to know about their names, but more about their talent. Oh wow, cake baking. Well, why don't you have a session or workshop about that? Or so many different things. The Tulsi Seva during winter just came about because I was thinking, Radharani. Who knows Radharani? Not many of us, right? But she took care of my Tulsi last winter when I went to India. And my Tulsi was fatter and greener, even in the winter, and she told me so many tips. So I was like, Radharani, why don't we teach this to the congregation? Because every winter, so many Tulsis, they don't do so well. So that's why we came up with this project first. But please come forward, okay? We're waiting for you to come forward to tell us what's your talent, and then we're going to facilitate that and help others learn from you. That's the idea. Okay? Right.
Hare Krishna. It's a very nice idea. The temple is introducing the devotees. Actually, every year I know many devotees, they bring their tulsi to the temple because they cannot maintain during winter time. It's very nice that Radharani, she knows this talent how to save tulsis. Just like we had, temple had a problem just a few days back. We were looking for making cookies for the deities. For every day we offer cookies to the deities, in the morning, evening. So we have only a few handful of pujaris. So then we got a group of devotees, Matajis, they got together and now every day they're making cookies for the deities. So now deities can have cookies every day. Very nice. Very nice service. So let's give a round of applause for this. So there are many like small things. It may seem small, but this seva, a small seva, but for Krishna it's a very big thing because by those small seva like taking care of tulsi, making cookies, these are all still very small, but if you do the love and devotion to Krishna, Krishna is very much pleased. So please take advantage of it. So that I know there are many devotees and members. So many times they give us call, can you take care of our tulsi? I said, no, we can't even take care of our tulsi. How are we going to take care of your one? It's difficult. So if you know how to take care, you can do it. So thank you, Rupa Mataji, for taking care of this seva. Hare Krishna. So I just last announcement. If there is a monthly member, if you are a monthly member of the temple, means Iskcon Atlanta temple, then we have a new Back to God magazines. So we've got like 30 copies has come. So if you're a monthly member or a donor of the temple, you can collect your complimentary copy from the table. We have only a few copies left, so you can collect today. Thank you, Hare Krishna. So we can take the last darshan of the deities, final darshan, and the prasad is outside.